Focus Fight Finish podcast. We are back in action. It is the week after Thanksgiving. It is a couple weeks before Christmas. This is a dark time. This is a dark time if you are trying to lose weight. If you are on a weight loss journey, this time we are it's my brain is freaking out. It is such a rough time. My brain is losing its mind. I just had a stroke. Literally, you just saw me have a stroke. Now, I'm not trying to be insensitive to anyone that has had a stroke. My grandma has had a stroke. I can make this joke, okay? I don't think I can, but you know what? We're keeping it, okay? What I was trying to say is, the word that I was trying to find before my brain decided to fly the nest was this time between Thanksgiving and Christmas is purgatory. Because if you are like weak, you know, if you're like feeling on the fence between your weight loss journey or not, this time is like, dude, if you're like, oh, you know what, I'm going to start next year, but you don't want to start next year, do you know what I mean? And you're just ready to start now, but it's also like you just had Thanksgiving and now you're about to have Christmas, so you're like, oh, what's the big deal? I'll just kind of coast until the new year, you know, until after Christmas. The holidays, man. It's the holidays. Now, in my head, I'm saying, Tony, definitely restart this podcast. Like, what? Like 100% restart this podcast. You started the podcast 35 seconds in, you're making jokes about strokes. Strokes jokes. You know what I mean? Now, was I happy that it rhymed a little bit? Okay, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I was a little happy it rhymed. Jokes about strokes, and strokes are very serious. Okay, I'm just, you know, this is just, we're all living fun and fancy free here. Okay, this is just jokes about strokes. Literally, my grandma had a stroke. She lost. I tried to rein it back. I tried to take it to a serious note. You know, how dare I? The gall of myself. You know, my grandma lost control of her, and it is very sad. Again, one of the sub quote of this podcast: "We laugh so we don't cry." Okay, my grandma lost control of her entire right side of her face, right arm, right leg. I have like one memory of my grandma when she had full access of all of her limbs, and she had a stroke when I was 4, I think. And you know, talk about a tough woman. She was right-handed and lost her entire right side. That's tough. If you're gonna have a stroke, I hope it's not on your dominant side. You know, if you had to pick, you definitely want to pick the non-dominant side. Now, I don't think I needed to tell you that, but just in case you're coming to this podcast for like medical education, I thought I'd let you know. If you get a choice, don't pick your dominant side. Okay? Tony Reyes, MD. Thank you. But you know what? She's a survivor, dude. My grandma is a freaking survivor. She raised a bunch of kids, a bunch of grandkids. I spent most of my childhood over there, you know, and she would whip up beans and cheese with the best of them with one hand. She made Thanksgiving meals every year with one hand. Okay. And you know, she had a cane. She would still walk around, even though she didn't have barely any function in her right leg. She'd do it. And I just saw her on Thanksgiving, and that's probably why she's on my mind. You know, that grandma, my grandma Reyes, is my last surviving grandparent. My grandpa Estrada died when I was 3, heart attack. It runs in the family, okay? Heart disease is one of the biggest things that scares me because I've got like 3 uncles died of a heart attack. My grandma's diabetic. My dad's diabetic. My aunt's diabetic. My uncle's probably diabetic, but doesn't go to the doctor. My grandpa died from a heart attack. My other grandpa died because of complications with lung issues. He was a smoker his whole life. My grandma had a stroke, and my other grandma, Estrada, died from Alzheimer's. So there's a lot of family history there, a lot of disease, a lot of struggle. So that is like a huge reason why I started this whole weight loss journey in the first place, because like the only thing I was inheriting from my family, some families inherit, oh, this was grandpa's house. Here you go. Some families inherit houses or whatever. The family dog. No. Not in my family. My family's like, hey, you're going to need to fight to live. Here you go. I love my family. You know what I mean? But they're like, hey, do you want to live? Okay. Good luck. Do you want a nice, full, long life? Hey, you're going to have to earn it. The chips are stacked against you. That's my inheritance. You know what I mean? Oh, it's good times. We are starting so dark right now. What is this the seasonal depression? Is this why we're so dark? I just said that to my my desk monitor. I looked at him like, hey, desk monitor, what are your thoughts on this current predicament we're in? Super dark into a podcast 6 minutes in, I go back to my grandma because she was a fighter. She, like I said, she had use of her left hand only. And she still made me food all the time. She still made dinners, raised kids. It was just like the fight in a person is what matters most. And do you see how masterfully I have reined it back in and circled back to weight loss and what we're about to talk about? Dude, this is why you listen to the Focus, Fight, Finish podcast, because we were getting real dark and I reined it in. The fight in you is the only thing that matters. It does not matter what your situation is, okay? When my grandma had a stroke, she could have let that be the end of her. She got a stroke early on in her life. That was 33 years ago. 30 years ago. I'm bad at math, okay? My grandma got a stroke 30 years ago. She could have let that be the end of her. But it's the fight in her that made her be able to do all the things that she's done since then. In the last 30 years, she's raised, like I said, she's raised kids. She's raised kids, grandkids. She's had a full life, and she continues to do so. And I was just blown away sitting next to her and talking to her at Thanksgiving, like, now she's getting to meet her great-grandchild, my son. And that's just an incredible thing, because something happened to her 30 years ago that could have taken her out, and she didn't let it. She still did everything that she wanted to do, maybe not to the fullest of her ability, and maybe it wasn't all the things that she wanted to do, right? But she was still able to have a full life, and she was still able to show her family love. She's shown me an incredible amount of love, and that's just, I think something that I admire. I think a lot of my family has a lot of fight in them. And I think that fight is what you need if you want to do anything hard in your life, like weight loss. It's that fight. It's not your situation that matters. It's how much fight do you have in you? How much are you willing to push back against your situation and push back against the hand that you were dealt and just fight? I think it's amazing. And I did you guys, holy cow. We made a journey right there. It's been 9 minutes and we went full circle. We went dark right back in. I really like that. Really like that. I like dark humor. I'm a fan of dark humor because I think laughter is the best medicine, and I don't think there's anything that you can't make a joke about and anything that you can't have a laugh about, because at the end of the day, what else are you going to do? Sit around and cry all day? Hey, as witness on this podcast, I do that too. But sometimes it's just nice to make some jokes and laugh about your situation, because tomorrow is going to come up soon, and it's a new day and a new chance. Wow. Real inspiring stuff. Tomorrow's a new day. Okay. So, moving past the weirdest intro of any podcast you've ever heard, I wanted to talk about weight loss, obviously. But I'm in a real freaking goofy mood. I'm like, what is going on? I am super goofy right now. I don't know why. I apologize. I promise you, we're gonna focus. We're gonna focus, fight, and finish this podcast. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. You and I. Okay, I know you're in your car or you're on the treadmill or you're sitting at your desk at your work or whatever, and you're like, Tony, what are you doing? Reel it in. And I'm telling you, I'm trying. I'm in a real goofy mood right now. Thanksgiving was great. And, but this time of year is like, it's weird, right? Because everyone has these goals that they're thinking about that they're going to start for next year. And we're going to cover New Year's Eve resolutions. But I will say this. If you have a New Year's Eve resolution that you care a lot about, then start right now. Don't wait for some date on a calendar that doesn't exist at all. You have today. How dare you be so egotistical thinking that you have all this time to just wait? You have no time to wait. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So start your goals right now. Because you need to be using every second you have to be working towards those things that you want, if you want them big enough. If you don't want them big enough, then it doesn't matter whether you start today, tomorrow, or New Year's Day, because it's not gonna work. It's not gonna be successful. If you cared about your goal enough, you would start it right now. Am I wrong? You know. Sorry, I just had to mute that notification. We're trying to still figure things out. I want to get a clock in here. I don't have a clock in my office. I don't really like clocks in my office. I don't want to look at the time. It's a long story, but we're figuring it out on this podcast. I've got my phone up with my notes, and because trust me, I take notes. I know it doesn't seem like I take notes because wow, this intro, but I take notes and I have my clock running as well because I want to keep track of how long I'm just sitting here rambling into the ether. Okay, so anyway, that's what I'll say about New Year's resolutions. To this week, I will have a whole episode about New Year's resolutions, about goal setting, my thoughts on it. But what I will say now is, if you have a New Year's resolution, there's no need to wait for New Year's. Holy cow, start now. Okay. The main topic of today's episode is going to be how to lose weight, how to start your fitness journey, how to exercise when you are obese. How to exercise when you're obese. Because I get this question a lot. And maybe it's not just when you're obese, maybe it's just how do I start exercising? And I think for me, the biggest form of exercise that gets overlooked, the biggest tool in weight loss, the biggest, the thing that everyone thinks is nothing that is actually a huge tool in weight loss is just walking. If you just walk more, you just get your body moving more, you're going to burn more calories, you're going to be more active, and you will lose more weight, as long as, of course, the number one thing, your nutrition is tied in. As long as your nutrition is on lock, then walking will help tremendously. And I think people overlook that. I think everyone thinks when they start their weight loss journey or start their fitness journey, if they're not, Matt Frazier in a CrossFit gym throwing their body around vigorously, then you're never going to lose weight. And that's just simply not the case. People are like, I need high intensity interval training. Bro, I need some HIIT sessions, bro, or I'm not going to lose any weight. I can't afford CrossFit, so I can't lose weight. Hey, that's dumb. It's not true. Move more. Get your body moving more. Walk more. Go on walks in the morning. Go on walks in the evening. And that's the number one thing that I want to start with, is just moving your body more. Now, when I first started losing weight, I had a lot of issues with my knee. I still do have issues with my knee. My stupid right knee just wants to just give up some days it's just like, no, I'm out of here. I've dislocated my right knee 3 times, and each time it sucked. There's no getting around that. Every time I've dislocated my right knee, it sucks. Hey, Tony Reyes, MD, dislocation of joints sucks. You're welcome. I mean, honestly, I don't even know why you're going to medical school. You could just listen to this podcast, and I'll teach you everything you need to know, baby. Okay? So if you are starting off with your weight loss journey with an injury of any kind, take that into account. Okay, like obviously don't listen to me only, but I'm just gonna give you some ways that I lost weight in the beginning, even with a knee injury, and hopefully this will help you start exercising. Because last week we focused only on nutrition, nutrition and mindset, which are the 2 most important things for a weight loss journey. The third most important thing and most helpful thing is exercise, fitness. I don't think you need to exercise to lose weight. I think you can just live your normal life, focus on your mentality, focus on your nutrition, and you will lose weight. However, I think exercise and fitness helps your mental clarity. I think it helps so much of the process that I don't think I wouldn't recommend not working out. I wouldn't recommend not exercising. If you absolutely can't, I don't think you need it, but I would recommend that you do it. So that's what I'll say. Now, let's say you've already got your nutrition locked down, your mentality's locked down, you found your why, you've talked to people about it, you've written down your goals, you have all the things that we talked about last week. And if you haven't listened to last week's episode and you want to start a weight loss journey, I highly suggest you go listen to that episode first, because that is truly more important than how many burpees you can do. I can't do very many. They suck. But let's say you've got all that locked down. Now, how do you, what's the next step? How do you, increase this fitness journey? How do you amplify your weight loss journey? And it's through working out. I've already covered walking. Walking I cannot stress enough how much of a change hitting 10,000 steps every day. I mean, that's kind of a general number that gets thrown around, but if you aren't walking at all, I mean, at 406 pounds, I wasn't going on very many walks. Do you know what I mean? My wife would get home and she'd want to go for a walk, and I would literally make up any excuse to not go on a walk with my wife. We had 2 little dogs. At the time, actually, we only had 1 little dog. Not important to the story. However, she's adorable. And she's important to me. I got her tattooed right here on my arm. Right there. Little Bailey. And now we got Brexy. I'll do a tattoo tour later. But Bailey and Brexy, we had them. And, I'd get home from work, and all I would want to do is sit on the couch, watch TV, scroll on my phone, and eat food. My wife is young, vibrant, healthy, skinny. She had nutritious food all day, and she's like, hey, trying to be a supportive wife. Like, hey, do you want to go take the girls for a walk around the block? And I'll be like, I got to do this thing, or I'm not really feeling very good, or, I got to go to the bathroom really bad. You go ahead. And I would just send my wife out the door to go on walks. And she confessed to me this earlier in my journey that hurt her a lot. It would always hurt her to be walking around by herself and see other couples out walking together and her be walking alone, and her thinking, it would just make her sad, wow, we're never really going to have that because he doesn't want to walk. He doesn't want to be active. So I guess I'm not going to have that type of relationship where I can go walk around the block with my husband. When she told me that, the amount of tears that streamed down these cheeks, my cheeks were soaking. It was an old slip and slide on my cheeks. Now, taken out of context, that last sentence sounds terrible. It sounds terrible taken out of context. But if you were listening to the beginning of that and you heard what happened, but if you just took the little audio grab of it was a slip and slide on my cheeks, hey. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Listen, we got to have some fun here, right? This is one of the things that I love about this podcast, and I love about the comments that I'm getting from this podcast is I don't, and there's nothing against anyone who has a health and wellness podcast out there. I just feel like a lot of them are just like, take themselves very seriously. Okay. Everyone's prim, proper. It's edited well. Things are like very clean and precise. And it's 24 minutes, so you can just like get on your way. Everything's quotable. And this podcast, we're here to have a good time. We're here to talk about our health. We're here to be better people. And, that's why I love it, because I don't take myself seriously at all. And I love that you are here for it. Thank you for watching. And that's it. Goodbye. No, I just really appreciate it. I'm having a good time here, just talking by myself. I'm having a great time by myself here. Anyway. Let's get back to my slip and slide cheeks. My wife, you never want to hear your wife say something like that, right? Like, it's such a disappointment. And so just this small thing of going on walks with my wife, with our dogs around the block, not very far, literally just around the block, that was huge for my health, my mental state, and for our relationship. Huge. So, cannot recommend enough. Just go for walks. If you have an injury of some type, these were the things that I would do when I couldn't walk or would hurt to walk far distances. Number one is the elliptical. If you can get to a gym, ellipticals are expensive, so I doubt you're going to have an elliptical in your garage gym unless you're big ballin'. Then congrats to you. I do not have an elliptical in my garage gym, so I have to take my broke bum. I wanted to say broke A. You know what I wanted to say, right? Again, try not to curse on this podcast. I had to take my broke bum. Wow, I'm such a dad, my broke bum. Oh boy. If 22-year-old me heard me talking right now, he would roast me alive. Anyway, I had to take my broke self to 24-hour fitness, and I would ride the elliptical all the live long day. Like, literally, I would do the elliptical for like an hour and a half. Now, that's pretty excessive. But in the beginning, I was very like, no, this is the only way I'm going to lose weight. This is what I have to do. Which, if that's how you feel, I'm not going to take that away from you. I don't like when people, unless you're doing something like dangerous, like if you're going on the elliptical at a normal rate of speed and your heart rate's not like at 180 beats per minute and you're not doing that for an hour and a half, you'll be fine. Do what you do what you need to do to make yourself feel better. But for me, doing the elliptical for like an hour and a half, I got to watch YouTube videos. I got to watch movies. It was like a therapy session for myself. It was like my alone time. I was doing something for myself for an extended period of time to make myself better. And that was invaluable to me. It was during that time that I found Nick Bear and BPN. And BPN's changed my life. It's changed my life. So, I think whatever you need to do, as long as you're not going to hurt yourself, do that thing. For me, if you have a knee injury like I did, the elliptical is nice because it's low impact on your knee and on your back. And that's something you need to find. If you're starting this, if you're morbidly obese, your joints are struggling. I know they are. I know they hurt because I've been there, and I know what that pain's like. You're not going to be able to do jumping jacks. You're not going to be able to walk 5 miles. You're not going to be able to, do some of these fitness plans that you find on Instagram or on YouTube. It's just not going to work. Or you're going to do it once, and you're going to need a week and a half to recover from that one workout, which is not beneficial, and it's going to have diminishing returns. So don't do that type of stuff. That's why I'm making this podcast, is like hopefully to avoid dumb stuff like that and get you into more of a long-term, slow build type of fitness. So for me, it was elliptical. The other thing that helps, especially like I still do this now, is I will go sit in the sauna for like 15, 20 minutes sometimes. I had to build up to this, right? I didn't start with that. But if I go sit in the sauna, I'll sit down for like 10 minutes, just let my body just start pouring, cheeks streaming, And then, that's going to elevate my heart rate, get me sweating. My body's already hot, so I'm like the sweat is coming, so it's all good, and my heart rate's up. So that's for me, that's a great way to start my workout. I do that 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, like I said, and then I'll go straight to the elliptical and just start grinding away on the elliptical. And for me, I burn way more calories when I start a workout like that than if I just go start the elliptical cold. I also, it takes me a little while to oil up these joints. So when I'm in the sauna, I'll do like 10 minutes of sitting and then like 5 minutes of a dynamic workout or warm up to kind of get my knees moving, my back moving, my neck loose, just get things functioning. Okay. Because when you're 400 pounds, things aren't functioning very well. So you need that time to warm up to a workout for sure and to hopefully avoid injury. The other thing that I do that I loved back in the day, and I still do, I'll have these on active recovery days. It is an incline treadmill walk. Literally so easy and such a great burn. So I will do the sauna. I'll go to a treadmill. I'll put the elevation. When I started elevation, I was like at a 3 or a 5 incline. Now I go at a 10 or a 12 and then do a speed of like when you're starting, do a speed of like 1.5. See how that feels. Then bump it up to 2. Now I'm at like a 3.5, which is basically speed walking uphill. And it's hard. It's super hard. And just do that for 20, 30 minutes and you are going to be shocked at how many calories you burn. Your body is going to be drenched. You're going to feel like you had a great workout. And that is what I did. Like literally most of the early parts of my weight loss journey were spent on the elliptical, on the stationary bike, which we'll talk about, or on the treadmill, doing incline treadmill walking. No running. We got to save these knees. Got to save that back. So if you're obese, you're trying to start your weight loss journey, those are the workouts that I recommend. Okay, because again, if you are morbidly obese, your joints are going to be probably hurting you. So go find exercises that are not going to hurt your joints, but still get you that burn. So get you that feeling that you worked out, that exhilaration. Because that exhilaration, that feeling of like accomplishment is what's going to get you to eat healthy the next day and what's going to get you back in the gym the next day. And it's a cycle, man. And that's what I have found through my journey is that building up on that cycle, it just makes you feel unstoppable. And I love that feeling. And so that's how I think you get that slowly and surely over time, building that up. And it's got to be through things that aren't going to hurt you because you have to, again, build it slowly over time. So you can't be doing workouts where, you're slamming your body on the gym floor. That's why the elliptical, incline walking treadmill, being in the pool, the stationary bike, those things are phenomenal to get you started on weight loss. And like I said, if you can do a workout while watching Netflix, give me a break. Like that's great, especially in the beginning. So those are the types of things I would recommend. To talk about the stationary bike real quick. The stationary bike was great, but I couldn't do it when I first started because most seats on a stationary bike at the gym are not made for someone who's 400 pounds. That little seat just goes, we're focusing a lot on the cheeks today, but they go right at the old cheeks and it does not feel good. So you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? Like there's so many other ways that you can get a workout in. Now, I will say it gets a little boring to only do that. And so a lot of the things that I wish I would have started earlier on in my weight loss journey was instead of just doing cardio, I wish I would have incorporated weight training. Weight training is huge for weight loss. I have talked about this before, but I'll cover it quickly again. If you're starting a weight loss journey and you're physically able to, I would say doing more weight training than cardio is going to be so beneficial. You're going to be breaking down those muscles, and then throughout the day, as those muscles repair themselves, they're going to require you to burn calories to repair those muscles, and that's how you are able to burn more calories. The burn from a weight training session lasts all day, whereas the burn from a cardio session only lasts for the amount of time that you're doing cardio. So it's incredible. I highly recommend finding a weight program that works for you, either getting a coach or getting a trainer, or just finding some, beginner weight training YouTube workouts. I mean, for me, it was a lot of just using the cable flies. I felt, especially in the beginning of of my gym experience, I didn't feel comfortable using free weights. I didn't feel comfortable using a lot of machines. So I would YouTube how to use a cable fly machine. And I would see someone demonstrate it and see someone explain through the proper form. And then I would go to the gym and do that thing. And I would just do 5 sets of 10 reps or 12 reps. So doing those types of workouts, having weight training, and then incorporating like a walking incline treadmill is going to be so massive for you and for your weight loss success. That plus walking more, like I said, as long as you have your mentality and your why written down, as long as you have your nutrition on lockdown, your nutrition is on point, you're going to be dropping weight, and I think those workouts will definitely help. Now, that's not all I did, and that's not the only thing you can do, but for the most part, that is how I spent early on in my journey, how I spent my time in the gym. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about this podcast, was like how to lose weight if you're obese, because, there's just so many workouts out there. There's so many trainers out there selling programs. There's so many coaches out there selling programs and trying to get clients. And I respect that. I respect the hustle. I really do. For someone who was obese and for a long time on on a pretty strict budget as far as like what I could spend on fitness, I didn't have a lot of money. Like, I've been losing weight I've been trying to lose weight since I was in high school. So, tell me, like, what is the budget of like a 22-year-old? Not much. I was making like $180 a week working at Disneyland. That's not a lot of money. So it's like, you're not going to find a fitness trainer that you're going to pay this trainer $80 an hour. No, I need to still survive. So anyway, I'm just saying, you don't absolutely have to do those things. I think they're very helpful. I think trainers are incredible if you can afford it. And if you find a good one, that's huge too. But if you can't afford it, there's still options for you. And that's what I'm trying to say here. I'm not trying to drag down trainers or coaches. That personal training is very important. But if you can't afford it, there are still options for you. YouTube workouts. Make sure you have proper form and do the things that I just talked about. Go for more walks. Get on an elliptical. Go into the sauna. Get on a treadmill. Put that thing on an incline and start walking. Okay? Put on your favorite Netflix show so you can kind of zone out and start walking, moving your body more. That's how you start your fitness journey. That's how you start working out if you're obese. And that's what I want to talk about. And now I wanted to quickly talk about a friend of the podcast, Bear Performance Nutrition. I mentioned Nick Bear earlier. Nick Bear is the CEO of BPN, Bear Performance Nutrition. And, it's just a company that I absolutely believe in. I've been an ambassador for them for over a year now, and they're a great company. Everyone there has just been so supportive along my weight loss journey. It's insane. All the other BPN ambassadors, so supportive. It's been incredible. So I wanted to talk about them again real quick. I have a code, FOCUS. If you are starting your weight loss journey, if you're starting to get into the gym, you need a pre-workout, you need to rehydrate, get some electrolytes. If you're starting to run, if I do that incline treadmill that I was talking about, I will use G1M. They're going more, which is a a refueling supplement. And so I don't want to talk too much here. Okay. I'm not trying to sell you on them forever. I'm just saying these are the supplements that I use. I trust this brand. I trust the company. They're third-party tested, and I love everything that they stand for. I stand for the same things, and also this hoodie, super soft. You can't buy this hoodie. It was a Black Friday deal, and they're completely sold out. I think they sold out in like 3 minutes. Something insane like that. So I was very excited to get one. I should have bought 2, and I'll never forgive myself for it. We're moving on. Use my code FOCUS at checkout. Save yourself some money. If you have any questions about the supplements that I take, put them in the comments below. Send me a message on Instagram, and I will answer you right away. And by right away, I mean probably in a few days. Okay, back to the podcast. And now it's honestly time for one of my favorite parts of this whole podcast, interacting with you, the audience. I do Q&A at the end of every episode, and I get my questions from the previous week's podcast comments. So if you have a question on this video, please post that in the comments below, and I will answer it in next week's podcast. Pretty cool. I know. I'm the first person on YouTube to do that, and so it's pretty cool. If I don't mind saying so myself. It's pretty cool. Okay, first question is from Riley Northcott. Hey man, been loving the videos / podcasts. Thank you. My question is random, but I noticed in your earlier videos you use an Apple Watch and now you use a Garmin watch. How was the transition, and do you recommend a Garmin watch? I've been finding balance. Well, that been finding balance, by the way, at the end of every episode, I give out like a secret quote. So I find out like who's a real one, who's watching all the way through the end of the podcast. Now, you could fast forward, but no one's doing that. I don't believe people would do that. So everyone who's posting the secret quote, I know you watched the whole episode and you're a real one. And Riley Northcott, you're a real one. Now, did I just have to reread your name because I just read it and already forgot it? I apologize profusely. Yes. But there's a lot going on up here, Riley. So please forgive me. But Riley, did I look at it again? Yes. I just want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. Yeah, Riley. Hey, thank you. You're a real one, and I appreciate you. Now, to the question of my watch. I'm wearing a Garmin Forerunner 945. I love this watch. My buddy Tommy, Dr. Tommy, I'll put his link to his Instagram. Not that he needs it. I'll link his Instagram and his TikTok. He's got like 2 million followers on TikTok. So it's not like he needs this shout out, but I love this guy. He is so nice. He's another BPN ambassador. Just so kind, so supportive. He's an actual doctor. So Tommy, if you're watching this, I'm sorry about making those MD jokes earlier. I know you earned your MD. And I just said Tony Reyes MD. Listen, I'm just saying, we're on the same level. We're not on the same level. But he put me on Garmin. He's an ambassador for Garmin, so reach out to him. I'm sure he has a code still available if you are looking to get a Garmin, so you can get a little bit of a discount because they are kind of pricey. I just found with my Apple Watch, I like the Apple Watch, but I didn't like having access to everything at all times. I'm already on my phone enough. I just felt like, oh my God, get all of this technology away from me. I just had it on all the time. And so for me, this Garmin stands for more than just a watch. It stands for, an investment into my future, into my health. And every time I look at it, I'm like, was I active enough today? Like, did I follow through with my goals today? Because its whole purpose is for that. It's for bettering yourself. It's for tracking you on a hike, or you want to run, or you want to walk, or, you at the gym, or whatever. So it's more of a reminder to me as well. But also I think it's just way more accurate. Like, I was working out with my Apple Watch and it was telling me I was burning like a goofy amount of calories, whereas with the Garmin, it just seems to be much more accurate. It's like, okay, yeah, this workout, you burned 600 calories. Whereas with the Apple Watch, it was like, hey, you burned 1,300 calories. Great job. I'm like, there's no way I burned 1,300 calories, Apple. So what are you talking about? So anyway, I wear it all the time. I mean, I wore this to not to my wedding, but to my friend's wedding. I wore this to my, in my Christmas photos. I got my Garmin on, I never take it off. It tracks my sleep way better. That's the other thing with Apple. Dude, the Apple Watch battery lasts 15 minutes, and I'm not exaggerating at all. 15 minutes, you got to charge that thing again. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but this Garmin, I don't even remember last time I charged it. Literally, how much battery I have left? 89%. Okay, obviously I must have charged it like 2 days ago, but I don't remember. And I probably only charged it for like 25 minutes. This battery lasts for freaking ever. So, yeah, I highly recommend a Garmin. And use my man Tommy's code. I'll link it. All right, this question is from Nocta. My why is simple. My ex of 3 years, my first long-term relationship, my first love, told me she broke up with me, that I couldn't change. Told me when she broke up with me that I couldn't change. She didn't mean it in the sense of physically, though it was included. She meant overall, I couldn't change. That day, I took it upon me that no one would ever decide or tell me I can or cannot change. This is my why. So Nocta, that wasn't a question, but I just loved that why. And when I read that comment, I just thought it was so cool and just so powerful because, like, you know, there's two sides to that. Because it's like I never really like when people are like, oh, well, you know, if he didn't deserve me at my worst, then he doesn't deserve me at my best. You know, and I like that mentality. I feel like it's a little toxic because, like, if you are not taking care of yourself and you are doing harm to yourself and it is a bad situation, like, you can't blame someone for not wanting to be a part of that and for caring about you and just being like, listen, you got to get your life together. And until you do, I can't do this, you know, because I need to be with someone that values themselves. Because if you can't value yourself, how are you going to value me? How are you going to value our children? How are you going to value whatever? So, I don't ever blame that person. However, if that happens to you, using that as fuel like Nocta did is so powerful. Now you can go and do those things and prove that person wrong. And it's unfortunate that, you know, they had to do that in order for you to make that change. However, whatever it takes, you know, at the end of the day, if you're healthier because of it, then you're probably both in a better situation. And that's really the point that I'm trying to make is, like, it doesn't mean that your ex is like a bad person. It just means that maybe you guys just weren't right for each other. And this like helped, like, you know, helped avoid wasting time and then got you started on your journey. I think that's incredible. And I also wanted to bring that up because it's so important for people to find their why. Find your why, write it down, put it in the comments, you know. Thank you, Nocta. I appreciate it. This is from Jeff Barker. Hello, Mr. Tortoise. Another real one. Mi gente, mi familia, Jeff Barker. This is a new concept to me, embracing the painful slowness of the journey. What are your thoughts about fasting? I guess this falls under your category of fad diets. Treading water to remain in the same place 6 years later. Thank you for being you. Jeff Barker, thank you for being you, my guy. I love you. I don't put fasting in the same place as fad diets only because I feel better when I'm intermittent fasting. I don't know that it helps with weight loss at all. I am simply saying in the mornings, I feel so much better, so much less bloated if I hadn't eaten past like 6. When I eat past 6, when I eat dinner past 6 o'clock, I do not feel good. So I eat my dinner early. You know, sometimes I'll eat my dinner like 3 or 4 o'clock. And that's just what my fasting window is, my intermittent fasting window. When people are going on like week-long fasts, I don't know. I don't know enough about the science behind it. I don't know about like the actual long-term benefits or negative effects that might have on your psyche, on your body, on your relationship with food. But I will say for me, I personally do like intermittent fasting mainly because of how I feel in the mornings. And that's all. I don't know that it actually helps my weight loss. I'm totally basing this off of my feel. I feel way less sluggish in the mornings. I feel good. I don't feel starving, but I also feel like just ready to get up. And I'm not like, ugh, in the mornings. You know, whereas if I would have eaten late and that food's just sitting there, oh, I hate that feeling. I hate that. So that would be my answer. And thank you. Mr. Tortoise was another secret. I'm telling you, we got secrets going on left and right. Dayton Nihai. Currently in the gym, bro. Just started trying to lose weight. Love listening to your podcast while working out. Do you have any certain workouts for losing weight specifically? Oh, okay. Dayton. This is why I included this. This question is what sparked today's topic. So Dayton, I just wanted to say yes. Everything I just said is as workouts that I did when I was first starting out. And I just wanted to thank you for your question because you literally sparked this entire episode. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you. This is from Lisa Patterson. I'm going to read these two questions back to back. I'm Lisa Patterson. I am at my wit's end. Nothing I try seems to work in terms of weight loss. Caloric restriction, weightlifting, cardio, nothing. I am seriously contemplating weight loss surgery. I have given up. Any suggestions? # be like a tortoise. Lisa, yes. We're a family. That's it. We're a family. Okay, now I'm going to read Kay Susano's. They're related. I just got denied for weight loss surgery 2 months ago. Told you. I was looking at the surgery as somewhat of a starter for the journey to weight loss. I was so depressed when I got denied for the surgery because I was foolishly waiting for the surgery to really get started on the journey. I am now back at square one at my heaviest weight. What kind of advice can you give someone who is really starting this and trying to be realistic and have realistic expectations? Thanks so much for the podcast. I just heard it for the first time. Please keep them coming. Kay Susano, I will keep them coming. Thank you. First time listener, it sounds like. So not in the family yet, but you're a friend. Okay, you're a friend. Lisa, familia. Okay, enough joking. I wanted to save this for the end because there's a lot to talk about with weight loss surgery that probably requires its whole own episode. But I think weight loss surgery for me is tough. I've always looked at, when I was younger, I looked at weight loss surgery, to be quite honest, as the easy way out. I thought, oh, wow, I want to lose weight, but I don't want to do it that way because that's the easy way out. I don't really believe that now. There's a lot that comes with weight loss surgery. You do have to lose a lot of weight before you can even have weight loss surgery. But for me personally, feel like it should be reserved for a very dire situation. If you are facing certain death, if you have gotten so big that you can't breathe, that your organs are shutting down, and we need a quick fix here, if we need something done to rapidly take weight loss, to take weight off your body, to ease the pressure off of your organs and off of your heart, then yes, 100%. But if you're looking at weight loss, like Kay Susano said, as like a starter to the journey, I feel like that's a dangerous way to look at it. Mainly because the weight loss surgery is not a quick fix in that there's still so much work to do post-surgery. Like, it's not like you just get the surgery and I'm never going to be fat again. It's all over. I can just eat burgers and pizza all the live long day. That's not what it's like. You can gain the weight back after weight loss surgery. There's so many people that have. So to think that you are just going to lose the weight and then start learning how to lose weight is a very backwards way of thinking, and I think a very dangerous way of thinking. So my advice is push that surgery out of your mind for now and give it a valiant effort. I mean, really go all in, Be tracking your calories, be working out, be eating nutritious things, try intuitive eating, listen to weight loss podcasts. I mean, just soak yourself into the lifestyle of losing weight. And then if you have to, and then this is your personal choice, then go ahead, and get the weight loss surgery. I just think that you need to have already built up some habits before that surgery takes place. Otherwise, months, years down the road, you'll be right back where you started. And, surgery is risky. They're I had another uncle who had to get weight loss surgery and died because of complications from the surgery. So there's a lot. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Ooh, that was a good one. Okay, we're back. Big sneeze. Now, as far as Lisa's concerned, you've tried everything. I would go back through and make sure that you were keeping an accurate log of what you were actually eating, switching up your protein, your macronutrients, how much exercise, how much movement was your body getting? Were you under stress? Were you sleeping enough? Were you drinking enough water? All of these things play such a crucial role in you losing weight that it's not just calories in, calories out. Everyone says calories in, calories out. Just eat less than you put out and you'll be fine. To a certain degree, that's true. But if you're not sleeping, you're not going to lose weight. If you are inundated with stress, you're not going to lose weight. Just research cortisol and you will find out why you're not losing weight. Your body's not going to let you lose weight if you are hyper stressed out all the time. And losing weight is a very stressful situation, so it's a little annoying. You know what I mean? Like, it's very annoying. But you have to take all those things into account. Like I said, contemplating weight loss surgery is one thing. Actually going through with it is a whole other. There's so many things that come with that. And I always think it's a better option to be able to do it without the surgery, just based off of sheer building the habits, building the mental fortitude, and then in the long run, not having to deal with any of the risk of the complications from the surgery. Again, I have no judgment to anyone that has had weight loss surgery. I know plenty of people that have had it. I have friends that have had it, and I'm very happy for them. For me, it's not an option because I'm not my heart isn't struggling. I'm not in danger of a heart attack right now. I'm not in danger of sleep apnea. If those things were true and you were absolutely morbid obese, then that's one thing. But I'm just not in the danger of those things. So I want to take my time. I'm not in any rush. I'm going to take my time. If it takes me the next 8 to 10 years to lose this weight, then so be it. I'm going to take my time, and I'm not going to put the pressure on myself to lose this weight quickly and in an unhealthy way. I'm not saying weight loss surgery is unhealthy. I'm just saying it's still surgery, and it's scary. I had gallbladder surgery earlier this year, and it jacked me up. I will stretch sometimes, and I get a sharp pain. It's still healing, and I'm 6 months post-surgery. I can't even imagine. Gallbladder's nothing. I can't even imagine weight loss surgery and what that entails. So, obviously everyone has their own personal journey, and there's still so much hard work that comes with surgery. It's not an easy way out, so don't think it's an easy way out. There is a ton of work that comes with it. It's just not part of my personal journey, and I think that unless you've absolutely, truthfully looked yourself in the mirror and you can honestly say, I have given 100% effort and I have exhausted all avenues, then maybe consider it. But Lisa, if that is true, reach out to me on through DM on Instagram. I'd love to chat with you about it. And yeah, we'll just see what you were doing before and see if I can help you at all. Again, I'm not a trainer or anything, but I've done it enough where I can maybe spot a hole in your plan to maybe hope get you some results. So reach out on Instagram. Thank you. Now, listen. This whole episode I've been thinking, what is going to be the secret message? Should it be slip and slide cheeks? I don't think so, because people are going to come to this video new and be like, what are these people talking about? I don't want my cheeks to be a slip and slide. Yuck. I just think I think it's too funny. You know what? So just hashtag cheeks. Screw it. Hashtag cheeks. What are we doing here, you guys? You know, I could have picked 1,000 other things, but that's what we're doing. Hashtag cheeks. If you are part of the familia, if you're in it, if you were dedicated, you listened all the way through, you know, there's a very small percentage of my YouTube audience. My retention rate's not great. So there's a very few, even if you see a video with like a lot of views, people are dropping off early. So if you're making it all the way through, I know you're a real one. Okay. I know you're part of my club. We're in this weight loss club together. We're right here. This is a hug. This is a virtual hug. And now we're getting weird, but I love it. I'm here for it. Lock in. Don't look away. We're right here. And I love it. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I love doing this. So as long as you keep tuning in and want me to do this, I will do it. I'm really enjoying this. This is actually very therapeutic for me to talk this thing through, all this stuff through, because believe you me, I am not just spouting from on high here, okay? A lot of this advice is advice I'm telling to myself. I just happen to be recording it because I am still struggling. I am still going through it. Next week, we will be back and we'll be talking about my next weight loss goal, my next big thing. I signed up for a half marathon. I will be telling you all about that in next week's episode. So make sure to tune in. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I will answer them next week. That's the only place I pull comments or pull questions for the podcast. And if you have any supplement needs, use BPN code FOCUS to save you some money. Thank you so much for watching. Hashtag cheeks. I'll see you next week. Inappropriate. YouTube's going to flag me. Bye.